Welcome to the NFL Week 3 Stacking to Win It. I'm Jason Gilbo at JGilbo11. With me is Justin Elick at Big Italy 42. Taking a look at a couple stacks here for Week 3, and you kind of we were talking a little bit here. Definitely some good offenses to kind of target, but as far as over kind of going all aboard the stacking train, maybe not so much.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of low totals this week. There's a lot of tough matchups. There's a lot of injuries. A lot of guys stepping into roles they're not used to being in. So I think that I'm not saying that I'm not going to stack at all. I think one in particular we'll get to here in a couple minutes. I think you'd be a fool not to have a stack of them because they're too cheap. But overall, especially on slates that don't include the Monday night slate, I think, diversifying, getting yourself the right pieces of the right values and mixing those in with the guys you really like up top, I think is going to be the way to go this week because I just don't think there's a ton of offenses in great enough spots that I really feel comfortable playing, 3-4 players from.
Yeah, I think so too. And as you mentioned, if you are in the Monday night slate, Saints.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious. If you got a Monday night slate on game on your slate, Saints have a total of over 28 points, which is ridiculous. And it's an easy stack too because you don't have to wonder who's going to get the production. Mark Ingram's been inconsistent. You can throw him in there, but I probably won't. For me, it's Breeze, Brandon Cooks, Willie Snead. Cooks obviously can take it to the house at any time. Had that monster game week 1. Snead's been just tremendously consistent over the past in week 1. Week 2 followed that up with 854 and a touchdown. I mean, he's got a touchdown each game. He's still cheap. All those guys, I mean, they've got floor, they've got upside. Falcons are terrible. And, I mean, really, you can go on the other side of this game too. And I think if you're looking on that side, I think I'd go the Tevin Coleman route over Devonta Freeman because he's just been more productive. And I think stat I saw, I think it's 4 targets total that Freeman's seen in 2 games. And if he doesn't have that pass catching upside, then, I mean, he's not a guy I'm interested in.
Yeah, I think obviously that Monday night game, both sides is going to be great in New Orleans, so we know we don't have to worry about the Breeze road splits. If you're not in that, what was that?
Thank God.
Oh yeah. If you're not in the Monday night slate and you're playing main slates, you're talking about the Steelers here, who are obviously just kind of where all that production's coming from.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for I won't even say for one more week. I mean, really the only thing you worry about once Bell comes back is the fact that maybe, Bell makes a big play and then you bring in D'Angelo Williams at the goal line and he steals the touchdown. But, I mean, right now it's as simple as it can be. I mean, you stack the Steelers, those 3 guys, you're going to see, we saw, 68 touches so far for D'Angelo Williams in 2 weeks. Brown had a down game, but the Bengals have done a pretty good job of containing him over the years. So, I mean, that's not a cause for concern. That was just a week where everyone else got the production. But, I mean, this one's simple. You can go with these guys, stack, put in some of your values, mix up your top guys. You could do a lot with this stack, and it's not going to kill you because it's got a high floor. I mean, we saw Xavier Grimble, Jesse James steal a couple touchdowns over the past couple weeks. Eli Rogers got one. But, I mean, this is arguably the best offense in the NFL, and it's crazy to think that when, which 2 guys are going to get all the production right now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we usually don't. I mean, when you look to stack, I mean, obviously you kind of like the 2 wide receiver format. You like the wide receiver tight ends. Using D'Angelo Williams and Antonio Brown together, that doesn't matter to me. The Pittsburgh is just kind of a different animal in terms of stacking that way.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually out shopping the other day wearing a FanDuel shirt, and a guy asked me about that the stacking thing, and he's like, well, everyone always told me not to stack running back wide receiver, and I was like, there are exceptions to every rule. The first exception being D'Angelo Williams and Antonio Brown. If you're going to stack a running back wide receiver, that's the one you stack every single time.
Yeah, no, you definitely do. Look at the value stack here, talking about the Chargers here against the Colts, who pretty much I expect the Colts to be a targeting stack pretty much every game this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's them and the Saints you're targeting every week, and you don't worry about the letdowns. Hopefully, we'll see in the coming weeks after the Giants kind of disappointed. Maybe people won't stack against the Saints as much, but I think the Colts are the most obvious one this week to stack against. And the fact that the Chargers are cheap. Phillip Rivers just continues to produce. No Woodhead, no Keenan Allen. This is another situation where it's kind of very concentrated on who's going to get the touches. Melvin Gordon's going to see a ton of volume. Travis Benjamin, deep threat. He's not a guy that sees a lot of volume, but he's going to get the looks down the field. He's going to get the looks in the red zone. And, I mean, there's really not a single other player outside of Antonio Gates, if you want to mix it up and put him in there, that I'm interested in this team. And I mean, you can stack them, especially on DK. 67 for Rivers, 58 for Gordon, 52 for Benjamin. You can stack that entire team and get, I won't say anybody you want, but you can throw in one more value guy. You can get any top guys you want in that lineup, and that's scary to think the potential there.
Yeah, that ceiling is super high with his Chargers value. One, because of the matchup, but also because of the other pieces you can kind of work in with them. And even, I mean, you can kind of work in maybe a game stack here as well if you want to go the opposite route. Maybe toss in a Hilton or a Dorsett with, alongside of Benjamin Gordon too. Yeah,
I'm cool with both sides of this one. This is one of those games where I think the Chargers defense, you mentioned it, I think in the last podcast, it was they're slightly underrated. People think they're just one of the worst defensive units, and they're not. I mean, they're about average, I'd say, but this isn't a team you just blindly pick on. But with the Colts, I mean, you play the passing game, and that's all you do. It doesn't matter who they're playing. You're going to see a ton of volume.
Yeah, no, you definitely will. Your contrarian stack of the week here is the Jets at the Chiefs. Obviously, we kind of hinted that you're going to talk about a team total that was pretty low in your opinion, especially with the way this Chiefs defense has kind of been playing.
Yeah, this kind of seems like last week I mentioned in the stacking article, the Chargers team total seemed too low against the Jags. The Chiefs are still a defense that I think is a solid one overall. They'll be fine, but they're not playing particularly well right now, giving up a ton on the ground. Matt Forte, it's almost like people forgot about him when he left Chicago. I mean, he's still easily a top 5 running back in the league right now, if you ask me, as far as, in his all-around game. He's a great pass catcher. Still one of the best pass-catching backs in the entire league. I mean, he has been for years. But this seems like a perfect spot for him in New York. He seems comfortable. He's getting looks out of the backfield. That wide receiver core is banged up. Decker probably going to play, but maybe not 100%. Marshall may not play at all. Even if he does, he's going to be very limited. So going to be a lot going Forte's way. We mentioned Enunwa as a value play, especially on DK, only 4,800. He's getting looks even with all those guys healthy. So I think he's a guy that, has a solid floor. I don't think he has a ton of upside, but, he should see 6 to 8 looks, maybe even more if Marshall doesn't go. And he's certainly not a guy that is a household name. It looks like Fitzpatrick has a lot of faith in him too.
Yeah, I think so too. When you look at this game, I think a lot of people are just going to go Jets at Chiefs. I don't want any part of it.
Yeah, you see that team total have a 1 instead of a 2 at the beginning. People are going to be scared off, but I like Ryan Fitzpatrick. I got friends who are Jets fans that hate the guy, but I mean, he's like Alex Smith with upside, and I say that after Alex Smith had that huge game week 1. But Alex Smith always has one huge game. I think he had a huge game week 1 last year. Didn't he win someone the Millionaire Maker last year in week 1 with a huge game?
Yeah, because I think his rushing was off the charts.
Yeah, he had like 3 or 4 touchdowns. I think a couple rushing, like you said. And but I mean, Fitzpatrick certainly is going to get you rushing touchdowns. So don't act like I said that. But he's definitely a guy. I mean, he had almost 400 yards passing against the Bills last week, and that's not a bad secondary. Obviously, a couple big plays in there, but he's got targets. He's got potential, and I just don't see them scoring under 20 points this week.
No, I definitely don't either. I think that offense, Vegas should be giving them a little bit more credit. But you know what? If you want to take that and kind of use it in your advantage, I'm definitely in favor of doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's wrap things up with the Week 3 stacking. Be sure to check out dailyfantasycafe.com for all great tools and content.